Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Drunken Under Quarantine show. I have a little poem for you guys. It's roses are red, violets are blue. Time magazine black-pilled me. How about you? Let's get it. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the Drunken Under Quarantine show. This is episode 41, presented to you by the Woolen Comedy Club. We're live tonight with Mr. Mike Gray. GW is here as normal. We're waiting to see if Collen's showing up or not. It's been another big week. Shit keeps happening, and we're going to keep talking about it. This week, we'll be talking about, of course, the Puppy Bowl, because, what else were you watching last night? We're going to talk about the now infamous Time election article. We're going to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day. Most importantly, we're going to check with Mr. Gray and see how he is doing up north and how things are going up there. Because, it's hard knowing, not knowing. But without further ado, we will welcome first performer to the stage. Please give a big round of applause and a welcome to my good buddy and co-host, Mr. GW Foley. Oh, there he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, yes. I was drinking a little bit of rum and coke, getting the pirate spirit. Let's see. Oh, man. I'm super pissed right now. Doing this thing for college. Trying to get this set up, which you remember, like, back in the day when you had courses and you would buy a book and could do the book. No, it's all fucking digital now. and because of this bullshit, like, it's not working. So I have to go on to support tomorrow and be like, yeah, I need to fix this because it's not working. It's not doing what. It's not mathing. I need to math, and it's not mathing. Which always, I'm computer literate, which it bugs me when things aren't working the way they should, and I don't know how to fix it. And I always feel like a fucking moron when I call customer service or whoever and be like, yeah. Can you fix this for me? Because I'm special. Click. Let's see what else is going on in my life. I hate the fucking laundromat, which is like my new favorite catchphrase for the show. I love talking about all the fucking domestics that I see at the laundromat. This time, I'm sitting there closing the dryer, counting down the minutes until I can leave, and this guy comes in and he's like, yo, where's my clothes? I'm like, I don't know. Where'd you leave them? I left them in this dryer right here. Oh, really? You did? Yeah, last night before they closed. And then they cleared out all the they touched the dude's clothes. And I'm like, well, yeah. They probably thought you just fucking left it and weren't coming back for it. So they cleared it out so someone else could use it. It's not like don't get pissed off if you're too fucking. By the way, if I left my clothes in the laundromat, the first thing I would do the next morning would be to go to the laundromat. Not wait till 10 o'clock in the morning after I woke up from my weed hangover. Going, I gotta get my clothes. I left them there last night. Like, that's also the same reason why I stay at the laundromat, because I don't want my shit going missing. I think that would be a fucking horrible day. Like, just show up, go check your laundry, and your laundry's gone. Like, where's all your clean box? Like, only your boxers. were being washed at that moment, and now you only have one ratty pair that you're shitting in. As you like I don't know. Like, you have to buy a whole new wardrobe. Then you have to be like, well, do I want to change up my personal style a little bit? I know I'm kind of like a rough hip hop person right now. Maybe I want to go a little more preppy. Dress like The Weekend. I don't even know what that sentence means. Dress like The Weekend. Like,
Does anybody?
No, I don't think they do. Like, I always like the idea of like dressing like a superstar, but I don't have the balls to pull it off. Like, I'm so completely uncomfortable in my own self-image that dressing like a pop star is foreign to me. Like, I could dress like one of the dudes from Napalm Death, like, and just be fine. Or like some other band where all you have to wear is like camouflage cargo shorts and a black t-shirt. Like, that's my real personal style. Like, this is a facade. Like, I like I've said before, I only wear these shirts because my beautiful wife got them for me. And they're great. They're beautiful. I love them. And I'm so happy she did. Because I would not pick this out. Like, underneath this shirt, I have a Jurassic Park shirt with like 500 stains on it. But yeah, that would pass over a lot better if I wasn't coughing in the middle of it. Anyways, so let's turn this bad boy over to Hickory.
Okay. It looks like I have breaking news that Collen will be with us in just a minute. But yeah,
oh, wow.
yeah, he showed up. So we're gonna do a little thing.
I'm telling you, he was on a bender, dude.
As you guys know, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I got this little box of chocolates, and I figured, I'd show you something neat with it. So we'll leave that there so she's in plain view, and you can, see she's all sealed up. What I'm going to ask is if Mike wouldn't mind selecting a card, and since it can be absolutely any card, I'm not even going to do any weird shuffles or anything. I'm just going to go like this, and then you say stop when you see one, and you'll pick it. You ready, Mike?
No, he's not.
Nope, not at all. Okay. His audio's probably... Nope, did you freeze? I don't know, I guess we'll have G-Dubs, we'll have you pick a card.
Yeah.
I'll go through...
Stop.
This one?
No.
That one?
Yeah. That one right there.
So what we are going to do here is and I said it could be any card, and it truly can. Hopefully Mike will be back in a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for a name, and it wouldn't be fair if you said Oscar because we've used that before, but a name that I wouldn't have guessed, preferably not yours, your pet's, or your wife's. A name that just pull one out of random, and we're going to
Tariq.
Tariq?
Tariq.
Okay. T-A-R-I-U-Q?
T-A-R-I-Q.
Okay.
Tariq.
Oh, Mike is back. Let's bring him back in.
Hey.
Mike, you're still there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, well, Mike, we were going to have you pick a card, and but GW picked one.
You son of a
Since
bitch.
you dropped out, I'm sorry. Is this one, we'll ask now, is this all right? We got a 7 of clubs, and he chose the name Tariq. We choose random names so that I wouldn't have any inclination. So, here, you give me another name, I'll write it down there, and that way it's like double fair.
Another name?
Yep.
Let's see. Shaniqua.
Oh, okay. You guys are really testing the spelling. Okay. We got Tariq and Shaniqua signed on there, right? So what we're going to do is take that card, and we're just going to fairly kind of lose her into the deck. And hope everything works out just fine. So I'm going to place that right there. And it would be like really cool, and it would be awesome if I was a magician, is if I could close this box properly. That would really improve my credentials, I think. But if I performed a transposition, right? So if I could, without touching it, I could magically take a card out of here and transpose it into a sealed box, right? That would be pretty neat, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, we're going to see if this worked. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, but so sealed box. You can clearly tell that packaging still on there. I'm sorry. I'll mail these to you after after the show.
Chocolate. Oh.
And what is right there? Not my friends. I don't want to drop the chocolates because that would be like a waste, right? So,
It would be. Oh.
Holy shit.
so that is my little piece called Card to Chocolate Box, which I only perform around Valentine's Day. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little piece. Well, Collen was up next, but he appears to have walked away from his script. So
I'm back.
I think that means we're gonna bring up our special guest next. Please welcome a special guest of our show, a very good friend of ours. We're very excited to have back because we always have a great time with him. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Gray.
Yay!
Hey, what's going on? So we just had a legitimate winter storm. I'm pretty sure you guys got it too, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much you got. We got like 10 inches or something. But before that, it's been like 40 or 50 degrees in January. It's like that. And everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not complaining." You should be. You should be complaining. That's not normal. You're not complaining now, but you'll complain when it's 180 degrees outside in July, and you just open your door and just, you know what, baby, the DoorDash can wait. No, it's not getting cold. Don't worry about that. People sometimes ask me, like, where do you stand, Mike? What's your stance on climate change? Like, climate change, yay or nay?
Is it happening or am I for it?
Right. Is it happening? Yay or nay? I'm in the unfortunate position I'm just in favor of climate change. I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. Drive your Hummer. I drive like a 2000 GMC. I just don't care. I don't care. Throw packing peanuts out the window into the streams. I don't care anymore. I just don't give a shit. And like another thing that's been going on is the masks, right? They had multiple masks or some shit. What's going on with the people are just like, oh, put more masks on. Oh, Fauci said put more masks on. And then they're gonna have some guy on the news like, hey, we're talking to a local resident here. What do you think about the multiple mask policy? Well, and go watch the USA, and the Fauci we trust. So you know what? Put multiple masks. Well, why stop there? Well, just wear a spacesuit. Just wear one of those old school diving suits with the big globe on them, and wear one of those. Put a ball gag in your mouth. Just do that. Swab your butthole too. They said that works. Let's do that. I'll just do it because Fauci said, "Ooh, that stings." Ah, God. It's like I can't even watch the news anymore. Like, it's so ridiculous. You know how I get my news? I buy a newspaper and I light it on fire And then I put it out by pissing on it. And then I like spread it around and I just stare at it like it's goat. and I'm an oracle and I just stare at it. And then I go, oh, I think it's going to be windy today, and I just leave. That's it. Because I'm old school. That's why. I'm so old school. I look at the news like an oracle. So fucked up. But all they did have the first successful face and hand transplant. Did you hear about that?
No.
You hear about that guy? Yeah, it's like he was a horrible burn victim, and his hands were all fucked up, and his face doesn't look much different. Like they got all the scarring out and stuff. He can't move his face much, but like the hand transplant was the crazy thing, and like you don't suppose when he first got his hands and he went to like, oh, what the fuck was that? Or like when he goes to pick his nose, it's just like. Doesn't fit. Can't do it now. It's just eternity with an itchy nose. Although they did have this a few years ago now. They have dick transplants. Yeah, that's a real thing. Because it started for wounded war vets because enough of them needed one that it was a problem. And so, yeah, it was a first success, which is weird, okay, because for wounded war vets, they're still not very old, so it's just gonna be a lot of old man dick on some young veterans, like a dick with bed sores, and it can't get hard no matter what you do. You put a bike pump on it, and it won't, nothing, you know. And because men are the way we are, you know, you don't suppose it'll be like, all right, sir, we found you a penis. This guy matches your blood type, so we got to do this now. Like, all right, fine. Show me. I want to see it. Yeah, I don't want that one. Why not, dude? Your dick is like a sprinkler right now. You know, all right. I took a piece of shrapnel to the shaft for this country, all right? I want at least 10 inches. No less. At least take 2 of them and put them together like Link sausage. Wasting my time. You know, when I first found that news, I immediately revoked my organ donor status. Done. But on the other hand, I was like, what if it was a situation in which I knew I was going to die, and this guy came up and he's just like, all right, Mike, this guy really needs a penis, so you're the matching blood type, you know, you're going to be the one. So I'll be like, all right, okay, fine, yeah. Show me his wife. Yeah, your wife's not bad, dude. Yeah, you can have my dick. Yeah. The way I can get some action post-mortem. Yeah, I think about death a lot. And I feel like I'm gonna die in a really shameful way. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna die of some disease no one's ever heard of, like tuberculosis of the ass. You know, and I'm not even like, it'll be some unknown thing. So the doctors will have to do all these experiments on me, and you know it won't go in there with a little fiber optic cable. No, they'll just go in with a 12-inch dong with a GoPro on it. Like, just get it in. Get it in. We need that footage. We need to go in further. Just fucking probably not even. You know, I'm not gonna die with loved ones around. No, it's probably like in an operating theater with hundreds of students watching me just get rammed with this GoPro. And I bet the moment before I lose consciousness, I'll hear, well, we're going to lose him, but at least his penis is in good condition. That's it for me, guys. So.
Okay, we are going to turn it back over. Just joining to the show. A few minutes late, but late's better than nothing. Please welcome to our spotlight stage, as soon as I find it, Mr. Collen Doyle. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Great to be on the show, as always. Mike, great to have you.
Thank you.
I'm here in the city that goes to bed at 10 p.m. New York. Now, the city that currently sleeps most of the day and night now. It's an absolute mess in New York. The sidewalks couldn't be in worse shape. We just got this nor'easter, and now everyone's dealing with depression and parking. So no one's moved their car for a week. They're just all still just buried. It's just like, I think the game plan right now is just, I don't know, move your car in the spring. There's like 4 feet of snow everywhere. Alternate side of the street parking is just forgiven for 2 weeks right now, because what was like in Vermont would have been like a good, like everything would have been cleaned up by like 10 o'clock that morning, is going to take Brooklyn about 2 weeks to try to figure it out. That's what we got going on. I got my nails done today. This is speaking to Hickory's inner emo, inner middle school emo. So Tom Brady and the Buccaneers won last night, the Super Bowl, and everybody says that's a great accomplishment. What I say is the franchise is called the Buccaneers. If the name of your organization could also be a miniature golf place in Daytona Beach, I don't know if there's really that much prestige. You know? It's like, yeah, did you see we won last night? Yeah, us in Alligator Land. Okay, we did it. We did it better than everyone in the world. We're the Pirates of Alligator Place. Okay. I don't know what is going on. I'm mourning the loss of Alex Trebek, as we all are. Anyone else mourning the loss of the great Alex Trebek? No, I mean, he was the best, you know, for Jeopardy, right? You know, he was just this incredibly intelligent dude who, you know, had like this this wisdom to him. And, like, you know, you'd get a question wrong, and he already probably knew the answer, because he was just like, he never played Jeopardy. He was the host. If Alex Trebek played Jeopardy, it was like he couldn't play it, because if he played it, he would have won it. You know? but then he dies, and now it's like everyone's like, oh, we'll just find new guest hosts. You know, like Anderson Cooper was just announced, and Dr. Oz. And it's like, imagine being the best person at your job, like ever, like an icon. Like you had video games on Nintendo, Sega, like everything, and then you die, and it's like, oh, Hickory's dead. Oh, he can't do the show anymore, but you know who can? Anderson Cooper. And I'm sorry, but, you know, we're just going to have to do with what we got, and now we're going with Anderson Cooper. And that is what has happened to Jeopardy. So now you got Dr. Oz, and I can't stand Dr. Oz. I met him one time in Midtown, and he's a pretentious ass, as you can imagine. And I just can't imagine, like, Dr. Oz. Like, you had Alex Trebek, who sounded all smart, and now you're gonna have Dr. Oz being on there, like on Jeopardy, being like, okay, and what was your question? Oh, I'm sorry. The answer we were looking for, everybody, is what is scrotum sac? And unfortunately, you didn't get that right. So, what is scrotum? What is scrotum? What a done. By the way, make sure you check your scrotum at least 2 to 3 times a month. Not enough men know that. And they need to be checking their balls all the time. Dr. Oz, go fuck yourself. I think it's, you know, there's that saying, people say, only the good die young, you know? And I think that's true. Like, I've unfortunately lost too many good friends in too young of an age, where you know, that you're there and you're sitting there, and I just the same thing kind of always comes up. You know, people be like, I never heard him talk poorly about anyone. You know, like I never heard him be mean or talk down or talk shit about anyone whole life. And I'm like, what are people going to say when I die at my eulogy? You know? They'll be like, Collen Doyle, there was a spiteful motherfucker right there. Boy, if he didn't like you, not only did you know that he didn't like you, everybody knew that he didn't like you. He told everyone. You know, that was a man who lived with a vengeance, you know? But yeah, that's what we got going on. You know, it's funny. I heard this kid on the street in Brooklyn the other day. He starts going off on his mom, and he's screaming at her in Italian, and like my age, you know. And the mother turns around, and she looks at him, and she's like, "What are you saying? What'd you say?" And that's how gentrified we've become. That we're the first generation that it's like we're the children of immigrants who were forced to not learn the language so that their kids could go study at NYU Florence and learn Italian, and so that they could scream at their parents in their own native language, which they did not learn because they Americanized. The world's come full circle, I think. When I'm saying, but that's how my week's going. How are you guys doing?
Oh, it is wonderful, sir. You do a little switcheroo here. Oh, beautiful. I want to say that the best part about having Anderson Cooper replace you after you're dead is that you're dead and you don't know. That's how I would feel about that asshat replacing any of my heroes, and I'm sorry that Alex Trebek's legacy will be ruined by him. I just hate that guy. I can't stand him. Anyways, welcome to the show, guys. I'm glad everybody made it. Yeah, you can kind of see is that a building we can see in the background, Collen? Is that out a window right there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you can tell that's not Vermont. Anyways, Mike, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. In between there, we did have a comment in from my beautiful assistant saying, "No, that chocolate's my only Valentine's Day gift chance." So sorry about that, honey. Maybe next year. We celebrate steak and blowjob day around this house. I don't know if you guys are aware, but you should look that up. It's March 14th. It's a great holiday.
I'm a major proponent of steak and blowjob day.
Yeah. It's a good thing to be having, I gotta say.
I'm married. I don't get those either.
So let's hop on the first subject. First, I want to ask Mike, how's Maine going? It's been a hot minute since we talked to you. Last time you were on the show was, early November?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Around
December.
Okay, so between the holidays. And, how are things? Anything changed up there? Are there shows? Is there things open? Are you going backwards? And how many people a day do you see wearing more than one mask?
Oh God, I haven't seen anybody. You know what? The worst one I saw though was it was in the summer when we all know coronavirus wasn't really doing a whole lot in the heat because it can't, and they were driving around in a convertible wearing masks with the top down. Both of them, top down, masks on. But as far as everything going here, Governor Mills did lift the curfew at the beginning of February. So we don't have 9 p.m., curfew anymore. But other than that, I mean, restaurants are open, bars are kind of open. The only comedy venue is Craft Brew Underground. That's it still. And I don't know why Portland has weird restrictions, so none of that's opening up.
Oh, okay. So they have... the city got restrictions that the state doesn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
that makes
also the
sense.
city where you can be 18 and smoke, but you have to be 21 to buy cigarettes, because that makes a whole lot of sense. Fucking unreal.
I love how Mike's like, so we don't have curfew anymore till 9. Where now, like, this pandemic has us talking like we're in 10th grade in high school. Like, now actually I'm allowed to stay out till 10. Okay, so this has been like a big thing for us.
Oh, we got a comment in, Colin, from Jacob Butler saying, "Hey, Colin, you okay there, bud?" I'm glad somebody's checking in to make sure you're all right.
Hey Jacob, great to have you on the show. I'm fantastic. And welcome to the Drunken Under Quarantine show.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for commenting in, Jacob. We appreciate that. And Oscar, thank you for being on the show, my friend. It's good to see
Hey,
G-Dub's wiener.
GW, can I pet your dog there?
Absolutely. You want to touch my wiener? Oh. It's like
wrong way.
Hollywood Squares. Oh.
Oh, that's great. Oh, we're such dorks. I love this show. So yeah, only one comedy venue. So not a whole lot going on. Are you? Do you have anything laid out in the future, Mike, or are we still in, like we are, in a state of limbo?
Kind of in limbo. Although I do have a show at Craft Brew Underground, and then I have one in New Hampshire. I think New Hampshire is a little bit more open than Maine and Vermont.
Yes.
And it's up in Bristol, New Hampshire. And then I actually just did comedy in a little town in Maine. At some bar. So I mean, it's there, you know. I mean, I got to take all the stage time I can get.
Colin Jacob comments back in. He says, "Just curious. I burnt down the house, but it's cool. I signed up for AAA." I love our viewers. So next subject we'll move right into was, speaking of Oscar being on screen, the Puppy Bowl was last night, and Team Rough won, which is my team. I don't know if anybody out there knows, but Hickory is a big fan of the Puppy Bowl, and I've been Team Rough since pretty much since teams were brought into the Puppy Bowl. And there's a puppy named Stitch from the Rutland County Humane Society on there, which is kind of cool. Also kind of a bummer because he got adopted before the show, which is because we went online like the second we saw him, and we're like, that'd be awesome. I would love to adopt that dog. And unfortunately, he had already been adopted. But yeah, it was cool to see a couple of Vermont puppies, and Puppy Bowl was great. I don't know if you guys caught any of the action, but it was. I
miss Puppy Bowl consistently, year after year. And Puppy Bowl's grown into quite an event.
Oh yeah, it was Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg were on this year. They were working the tailgate section. They made some snacks and did a little drink combination.
What is with the Martha Stewart Snoop Dogg? I mean, that's so diametrically opposed.
I know, dude.
That's nothing to do with each other.
That's why it works.
They're fucking, all right?
You look at Martha Stewart and you're like, she likes black guys. I know she's one of those ladies for sure.
And Snoop Dogg's like, I like old white billionaire pussy.
It was, yeah, I would assume they met on the roasts on Comedy Central back when that was still a thing. I don't know. It's a weird mashup, but I really enjoy them together. And yeah, they were great. Jacob comments and this guy's been great. I got banned from the Puppy Bowl for spiking a dog in the end zone.
Oh, is that how you...
Well, apparently I missed the point. Okay.
The point is cuteness. That's there's a kitten halftime show that, much like the real halftime show, nobody gives a shit about generally. And we'll move right into our next subject, which was, I forgot, the Super Bowl happened too. So I guess we should talk about that in a minute. I wanted to ask you guys, firstly, are you calling them the Buccaneers or the New Patriots? Because that's what I don't watch much football, but that's what it looked like to me. Because it looked like Tom Brady throwing a ball and the Gronk catching it, and that sounds like New England.
I'm calling the new miniature golf place off I-95.
Come on down to Brady's Buccaneers. You get a bucket of balls.
Yeah, bucket of balls, bucket of fries, bucket of beer, all for $9.99. All right.
Everything's $12. There's only 12 holes. Everything's 12.
This is what's crazy. It's like I by no means claim to be a genius at football, right? But I have this inkling. I had this little, thought, right? Gronkowski is this massive human being who leaves the NFL because every part of his body hurts, right, when he wakes up in the morning. And he's, got tens of millions of dollars by the age before 30, right? And, but he's also this huge human being where all Brady has to do is lob that ball to him, to stiff arm someone in the head with his good arm, of what's left of it, and that's it, and he's wide open, and I'm like, watch Gronk having done nothing all season, literally just throw someone on their head, and no one will even pay attention because he's like, I'm Gronk, come on. And by the way, don't we all feel like we know a Gronk? Right? All of us know a Gronk who's slightly brain dead, but somehow
he's an athletic specimen.
Specimen. Has some level of personality that has not been able to be concussed out of him.
And since we're on the subject of Super Bowl, Colin, I wanted to ask you: did you catch any commercials? What did you think about the commercials?
Commercials, I thought overall I was pretty disappointed in the commercials. My favorite commercial, I think, was actually getting Mike Myers and Dana Carvey back for the Wayne's World bit.
Oh yeah, I did see that little bit with Cardi B, which made me sad a little bit. But
yeah, they brought Cardi B. I could have done without it, but I thought that was what's funny to me is you realize when you see this commercial and you go, "Oh my God, it's Mike Myers," and you go, "Oh my God, it's Dana Carvey," and then you go, "Oh my God, I'm the consumer base that the advertiser wants to take money from."
Yeah. You guys are playing on my nostalgia. I get it now.
Think of a window where that's nostalgic too, and it's us. It's and it is us. And I saw that a few times, but I thought that the Budweiser commercials, I didn't see any breakaway commercials that I thought were really hilarious. I don't know what commercial I thought was the funniest. What do you guys think was the funniest?
Do you watch the Fiverr one? Did you see that? The Fiverr one in front of the Four Seasons Landscaping in a press conference center?
No.
It was just so convoluted and over the top, and it looked like they spent a lot of money just to take a jab at Giuliani, which I'm totally cool with if you want to do that, but it just seemed so over the top, and we actually watched it before the show and the pre-meeting real quick just because it's so just ridiculous. Weird. And the entire thing, it's pointless. The entire commercial, other than 3 seconds of hey, we're Fiverr, and you can outsource any shit that you can't pay Americans to do through us, and that's literally that's their whole sales pitch.
Better is in the boardroom. Some guy walks in confidently. He's like, "I'll do you one better, Hickory. We now own Four Seasons Landscaping."
Jason commented in, a longtime follower and commenter. Jason comments in M&M. I did not see the M&M commercial. Did any of you guys?
No, I'm more of a fan of the S&M commercial.
Oh, I agree with that, G-Dubs.
Yep.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I have not seen the M&M commercial.
I'm trying to remember the M&M commercial.
Jason said commercials cost $5.6 million. I would assume that's for 30 seconds. Because I remember Budweiser, it was either last year or the year before, got a whole lot of shit because they spent $5 million to air an ad bragging about how they gave $100,000 worth of water away. I remember that was...
Yeah, I heard, was it Budweiser this year that they weren't going to advertise, or Bud Light or something, and they were going to instead finance coronavirus vaccines? Like,
yeah,
we'll be
actually,
okay now. What the fuck?
I had read a bunch of commercial advertisers were not running commercials this year due to current political climate and or that whole thing. They didn't want to.
It's really disappointing to me because the thing is like the whole thing with the Super Bowl commercials is like my FedEx commercial opened the day before Super Bowl and didn't air on Super Bowl day. And FedEx did that as a thing because they wanted it, at that time I think it was 10 million for 30 seconds. And they said, there's no way that you can actually really show, a $10 million return on that investment in the thing. If you're a new company and you have a lot of market growth, then it absolutely makes sense. Like GoDaddy.com would have probably never been where they were if they didn't use the Super Bowl as a catalyst for that. But to me, it's almost like this country needs humor right now. And when you shoot these commercials, even if they're expensive, you're employing the writers, you're employing the performers, you're employing the camera department and stuff like that. And Bud Light could have shot some really great, it might not be, vaccine, but it's like a social relief of having a commercial that's really hilarious. And like when I look at like yesterday's Super Bowl, I don't see like where there was a lot of humor in a lot of the commercials. I see that there were some clever commercials. I saw there was some nostalgic commercials, but I didn't see anything that would just break out like hilarious. And maybe I missed something, but I just think that Bud Light and these other companies could have stepped up and invested more in humor and comedy, because guess what? Comedy's the best medicine.
Hey man, Jacob,
are you guys?
Sorry, what's up, Mike?
Are you guys getting tired of the inspiring theme?
Yeah,
everything has to be inspiring now. Like, no, just it makes me sick. I don't even have an angle yet. It just irritates me.
No, I agree. Jacob writes in, says Budweiser getting wiser by the day.
Yeah.
I would say it would be a pretty wise maneuver not to dump money into that game. But that's me. I
just want to say that any company that wants to invest $5.6 million in a commercial, come hire me. I'll work for scale. I'll direct it. I'll write it. I'll star in it.
And he'll do it.
$6 million, folks. Okay.
And he'll do it for $1 million under budget, just so he could funnel some money to this show. We could, get some production going.
Foley Kills is going to throw some Bernie mittens on, and he's going to go roll around with his nuts out in the snow. And guess what? It's going to get 1 billion hits, folks. It's going to get 1 billion hits because it works. Okay.
Sack mittens.
This guy, internet phenomenon.
That's right. You thought the Red Hot Chili Peppers revolutionized a cock sock. GW Foley brings you the scrot sock.
And God forbid he drinks a Bud Light while he's wearing his scrot socks. Okay? We might have something here.
It's actually how he stays warm throughout the show without the pants on.
Yeah.
So.
You can't tell he's wearing a scrot sock right now.
Yeah.
He also has 2 Bud Lights underneath his frame.
So we're going to need...
It's called a dick mitten. I think that's what it's actually, a dick mitten.
A dick mitten?
A dick mitten,
well,
yeah.
Is that what the thumb is for? Is that
exactly.
It's just gotta, you got like separate, it's like toe socks.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, they had these huge balls, and there's this tiny little, what they call thumb mitten, and that was how everybody stayed warm.
Oh, okay. We got more comments in here. Jason says, "I hope you guys didn't see the halftime show. I knew ahead of time it was garbage." I'm hard pressed to disagree with you there, Jason. I did, however, watch the halftime show. It's the one part of the Super Bowl that we actually watch at my house because we're busy watching the Puppy Bowl because that's clearly more important. And you know, I just like the way the juiced out dogs, you know, they're just full of, pump them fucking right full of steroids and let them go at it. It's great. But but no, the halftime show, I felt like it had I don't know if anybody else caught it. It had a few cool moments. I really like the thing where he was doing, when he went backstage and he had the camera in his hand and he was like spinning around, and then it kind of like a bunch of dudes came in with diapers on their heads, and it kind of turned into like a dancey. It was like if you took a mosh pit in the Thriller video and just, you know, forced them to have a little movie baby. Like that's what the halftime show looked like.
Yeah.
But with not nearly as much talent as Michael Jackson. That was...
No, I mean, probably arguably a more shiny jacket than Michael Jackson. Not the dance moves or the vocals or the musical composition or the talent or the drive. But what I would say it did have was one performer the entire time, which you very rarely see. Does The Weeknd not know any other celebrity? Does he not have a friend who had an album drop this year?
I think he's talked himself into thinking he's Lady Gaga.
Well, he ain't Lady Gaga.
I agree with that.
What it could have used is actually maybe a little Lady Gaga, right? Maybe The Weeknd shuts up for 10 minutes, and maybe Lady Gaga sings for that time. That would have been a much more interesting show than The Weeknd running around getting lost in some type of weird carnival mirrors that looked like I was at the Rutland State Fair. I don't know what's going on, but I'm dressed up like I'm going to be Thriller for Halloween, and I'm lip syncing to an album I recorded 3 years ago. That is what I saw was going up for choreography. If it was me, I would have been like, listen, I'm going to come out, I'm going to hit the first song. Then I'm going to have Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart make out. and like have Snoop do something. Then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to have Elton John and Eminem make out on the left. Then I'm going to have Britney Spears and Madonna making out back on the right, and then back on the left, Janet Jackson and Timberlake, and he's licking her nipple, right? And this is some freaky shit Colin came up with for the halftime show. But guess what? It's a mashup of the best. And meanwhile, I just hit that one song that could have been that Weeknd song that we heard 30 million fucking times leading up to this. And it sounds like some type of weird 80s song. I'm thinking, don't even sing that fucking song, Weeknd, because god damn it.
Okay, we got to stop there. We might get copyright stricken. That was way too accurate.
Every single video game from 1982.
That's exactly how I feel whenever I hear that shit come across the radios. I'm like, this guy's just trying to be MJ.
Yeah. I do agree with you, Colin. It definitely needed a nip slip at least. You know, like have a nip, and then it's got like a little mask over the nipple so you can't see.
It's a blue paper one, so it doesn't really work, and you can still see the outline. Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
Like 16 fucking masks over her nipples so you can't see them. Because, you know, one or two isn't enough.
No. Those nipples need to be COVID safe, brother.
Mike, yeah. I mean, what a brilliant point. We had an entire Super Bowl yesterday, and not one person had the common sense to walk out with their breasts covered with masks. What? Yeah. I mean, for God's sake, we're not even trying at this point.
No, not at all. So we got a couple of comments in. Jason asked, said one of the puppies was from Vermont, and yeah, Jason, we actually mentioned that earlier. His name was
the show.
Is what?
Way to not watch the beginning of the show.
Yeah, yeah. That puppy was his name is Stitch, and he's from the Rutland County Humane Society, and I'm pretty sure he scored a touchdown last night. I can't remember. I just remember that Big Paws Paulie caught the touchdown at the last moment and won. It was like a 3-point decision on the Puppy Bowl. Yeah, I don't give a shit about what football happened. Jacob asks in, he said, what did you guys think about the anthem? Indulgent or poignant? And I didn't see it, so I have no idea.
I'm going to say indulgent.
Okay.
It usually is. It usually is indulgent.
Yeah, it's a little over the top, right?
I mean, the thing is to be indulgent was I was not listening to it. I was trying to figure out my boxes to see what chance I had of winning a quarter. And I was frantically going through my numbers and trying to figure them out. In which case, Kansas City, you can go fuck yourselves. If you are listening right now, you guys can't cover. Not only can you guys not lose, you guys can't even lose within a margin that makes fucking Las Vegas interesting. So you guys really sucked last year.
If I had $1 every time I said Kansas City, go fuck yourself.
You wouldn't have to gamble anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually say
They're
that.
burning shit down in Tampa Bay, or are they all just too goddamn old to
I did see some videos of some guys climbing some trees and shit afterwards, and I was like, this is like less than happened last summer. This is not a big deal anymore. You guys need to light something on fire. And you're not gonna
get my hammock.
You're not gonna make news by climbing a tree. You gotta like set some shit on fire.
flip a police cruiser over at least or something, you know?
Come on, you can't.
Did they do both national anthems?
The Black national anthem.
Yeah, even though black is a race, not a nation, I'm very confused about this whole situation. Like, it raises all sorts of questions that I don't have the answers to. Like, should I be kneeling for the Black National Anthem? Or should I be standing? Should I salute or put my hand over my heart? I don't know. Should I wait in my car until after it's done and then come in for the regular one? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, as a guy who is the whitest of whites from Vermont, I don't know what the proper reaction to the Black National Anthem is.
What is the Black National? I haven't even heard anything about that. You'd think that by now somebody would have said something about the Native American National Anthem. Like, no one's ever heard anything about that.
Yeah, or maybe, like, I don't know, any of the other Asian National Anthem. I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make sense. I just know that they started playing that in concert with the National Anthem. I'm pretty sure it's a hymn. Like the Black National Anthem is a hymn from back in the day. I don't know, though. I don't know that much about it. I just saw people talking about it online.
And this year, we're going to play the Native American National Anthem. Maybe next year. And they're like, we're bringing back the name Redskins, too, by the way. God damn it.
Jacob Butler writes in, he says, they did an arrangement that seemed clearly politically pandering, but also maybe that was exactly what was needed.
I don't know about needed. It's wanted by someone, I'm sure.
I don't know. I did see that Biden made an announcement the most popular president we've ever had in the entire world, Grandmaster Biden, Joe Funky Fresh spending the ones and twos. They came across and gave a message and tried to call for a moment of silence. That was the loudest moment of silence I think anybody's ever had. Maybe don't call for a moment of silence before the biggest game of the year. Wait for an event where people aren't hyped out of their tree.
So, can we talk a moment about the streaker or the streaker?
I missed it, but is there?
The guy who ran across the field without his mask on?
No,
he only had one on, Colin. It was.
Or did he just have the mask on? Was it like that? He only had the mask. He was safe.
Yeah, okay. No mask. Yeah. So he's a dickhole, and he was wearing a one-piece thong bikini, like bathing suit.
Yeah. Should we? Oh God, should we pull it up?
One-piece bikini that was a thong.
I think we have to pull this one up, Hickory.
Yeah. Okay. So, just a warning to anybody watching the show. If we get pulled in the last 10 minutes, I'm not, like, exceptionally going to be upset by that. So, here, I'm going to pull this video up on YouTube. Let me pull off the overlay real quick. And we will get that bad boy on screen for y'all.
And no, Jacob, we did not expect less from Florida.
So, let's see. This is a news channel, so
Do you
that's
know
got to
that
be.
the average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of toxic poop in their
ads.
body at any given moment.
Holy
Seems crazy,
shit.
right?
Dude, that alone is worth talking about. But okay, here we go.
Lay off the cheese. Okay.
Are you guys ready? Oh, it takes
Oh,
off
he
his
did
mask.
have a mask on.
Oh, he took it off after he started running, but that's okay because physical activity is exempt, right?
Hey, you think that was staged?
I don't know, but this guy, he's got some moves,
Run,
dude.
God damn.
Oh, with the slide tackle. Oh, I got him right in the face. Hey, how many?
Slide check. And now some guy's got his knee on his throat and on his head.
Well, it's all right. You're allowed to kneel in football.
No.
The real question is, this actually reminds me of a very famous photo that's become viral in the past couple days. And the question is, how many fat cops does it take to catch one in shape guy?
Too many.
Because we had that. There's a viral picture from South Africa, I believe. I wish I could.
You remember the commercials with the lollipop, where we go, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the fizzy pop? A 1, a 2, a 3. And then you bite the thing, I think the same could be applied to cop. It's like 1, 2, and then just 2, and then the third time you're shooting.
I wanted to say that guy was so fucking lucky that he was on national television or international television because they all wanted to fucking tase his balls.
Oh,
So bad. So bad.
You know what? It's funny because like England's looking at us like, really? This is you're making a big hype about this? Doesn't that happen in England all the time at every fucking soccer game? There's always a streaker. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know.
Seems that way, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
just
the only
saw-
time we actually pay attention to their fucking soccer.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have heard that there's soccer's a little more extreme though. There's like a dedicated gang for every soccer team in Europe or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. But then again, I mean, football teams are kind of, I don't know, it's weird. Jacob said, "Do we expect less from Florida?" No, I expected more. and I'm a little disappointed. He also said
Florida. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, man, it happened in Florida. You'd think it would be more exciting." He also said, "Thank God for those shorts."
I wish he took the shorts off, honestly.
I'm wondering what kind of burns you get from a slide tackle like that in a
Think
thong.
about it. Here you go. If you're gonna go run across the field and get kicked in the head, show those royal gems. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Go out there and show the crown jewels, mate.
Yeah.
Make sure your dingle's dangling.
Exactly. Go out there with a freezer. And then when they tap you, say, "Careful, mate. You came awful close to touching my exposed junk." What are you thinking?
Yeah, because that's like a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? Like, who wants to grab that guy when his
Touch my
balls are
balls,
hanging out?
buddy. Okay? I'm trying to run around with my nuts out, and you're over here, trying to jerk me off. Okay? Step back a little bit.
I want to see his cock dangle like a fucking grandfather clock.
Just a swaying.
Just
It's like bouncing off his knee.
And that's 30 seconds on the clock.
penalty on the field.
Okay. Next, we were going to talk about something else, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, we're running a little late. Mike, you're good? You have time? We're not like...
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, cool. We're going to run a couple
I have
over
no
because we're...
life.
Okay.
There's nothing going on here. Yeah.
Us neither, but it's always. I feel more polite when I check. We were going to talk for a few minutes about the infamous Time article, and I just wanted to read a quick paragraph and see what you guys thought. I had asked you guys before, and you hadn't. Colin, have you read the Time News article? It's called. Hold on. It's called "The Secret History of the Shadow Campaign That Saved the 2020 Election." Did you read that? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'm going to read a paragraph from this. I'm actually going to pull it up on screen so it's on screen while I'm reading it because I don't want anybody to clip me as like I said this because this is things.
I can also use my finger to read.
This is something I've been wanting to talk about, but I was like very, very nervous about talking about this on the show. So, yeah, this is the headline for the article here. The secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. They go into a lot of detail. This is a 6,500-page essay. But this part right here is the part that I wanted to read. Because if I had said this on our show, we would have gotten pulled. But I am not saying this. I'm reading this on the behalf of Time Magazine. They said, that's why the participants want the secret history of the 2020 election told. Even though it sounded like a paranoid fever dream, a well-funded cabal of powerful people, ranging across industries and ideologies, working together behind the scenes to influence perceptions, change rules and laws, steer media coverage, and control the flow of information. They were not rigging the election, they were fortifying it. And they believe the public needs to understand the system's fragility in order to ensure that democracy in America endures. Which basically reads like, hey, you Americans are too stupid to vote, so we helped you out.
I mean, that's true.
No, I can't argue that. But it just seems crazy that this is exactly what every right-wing personality's been screaming about getting banned over for the past 2 months. And
they're
time.
just like, yeah, we
oh,
did
yeah, by
it.
the way,
Yeah.
this happened.
But we did it.
Yeah. We can talk about this now.
Well, this is my feeling about it, is every moment that any American's ever been alarmed, right? Certain things have felt alarming, right? This impeding sense of potentially socialism or autocracy or whatever it may be that there's a fear of, right? But these fears have always been the same no matter what time it has been. Elections have been manipulated since the beginning of this country. Oligarchs have controlled behind veiled curtains since the beginning of time. You know, the fears and the paranoias never change, you know? And what seems today like more information, like, or is there more information gathered? Of course, because there's more information readily available. But at one point, like when the CIA and everyone tapped the mafia and everything, like they never had warrants for those phone taps, you know what I mean? And they, you know, the whole thing with the RICO Act and all of this stuff, you know, they wired everybody. You know, the government's always had these free reins to surveil and do certain things. And so it's like what seems like people get alarmed by in the moment. If you look at history, it's no less of a loss of liberties than, you know what I mean, every generation's probably ever gone through, you know, given the time at hand, you know.
Spoken just like somebody left of Gandhi. Oh, no, that's actually a great explanation. I wholeheartedly agree. I just felt like Time Magazine said the quiet part out loud. Yeah. That they should have waited. And I honestly felt like reading this that they were pushing for something. Like they were like, hey, you know, we just had this event on the 6th where like these fucking idiot rednecks came out and actually like did something crazy and made people pay attention. We need more. And that's my personal thought, is that they were looking to provoke some of the Q-esque people out there into further action. I don't know. That's just my theory.
I think it's a lot, like anything, because they were always concerned about Russian hackers and shit. Like there was any kind of organization in the 2016 election.
Yep.
Like there wasn't any organization. Like you thought that they were conspiring with that didn't fucking happen.
Yeah, exactly.
They made memes.
No, that what that was is a rumor Hillary Clinton invented back in 2015, and it went to the top. That's how that went. But yeah, the article. I felt rather black-pilled by it, and was very much like, oh, okay, I don't have to care anymore.
Yeah.
If we're all going to say the quiet part out loud, I'm just not going to pretend to care.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I know a lot of my friends were very upset by that. Which, I don't know. After reading all 6,500 words of it multiple times, I found myself a little angry as well. But we'll move on to the last subject of the evening. Try not to keep it too heavy or say anything that will get me pulled. Valentine's Day's coming up in less than a week. And just a friendly reminder to all the people watching the show that I actually already gave the beautiful assistant her gift because they were the chocolates I opened earlier, and that's enough for me.
But gonna give me those chocolates.
Well, I will buy another box, GW. I suppose I could swing it. It's going to be a little, we might not be able to heat the house quite as effectively this week, but I suppose.
Oh, well, GW, if you want chocolates, you're going to have to, what I'm saying.
It would not be the first time I had to suck dick for food.
But I wanted to ask if you guys had anything that was like a weird Valentine's Day thing that you from the past that you really enjoyed, or any type of tradition that you actually find interesting for the holiday, because it's kind of one of those bullshit holidays that everybody knows is bullshit, but they still go along with the bullshit. Personally, we don't really do anything for it, and that's me. But I figured I'd toss it off to the group and see if you guys had any strong feelings one way or the other on Valentine's Day.
I like the idea of Valentine's Day. Like, I like the idea of like love. Like, I am a sucker for a love story. Like I'm the dude. Like, I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to be able to watch chick flicks and be like, oh, I want that, and I have that. Like, let me first say that I fucking love my wife. She is the fucking tits.
I'm gonna clip that sentence later. That's great.
Yeah, and even if we don't like celebrate by going out and being all like consumerist, like I love her, and I want her to know that I love her, if that makes sense. And so I like Valentine's Day in the respect of being able to be like, hey, this day is set aside so you can be focused on the love. Like, the love that I feel for you all year round is what I show you this day.
I should have warmed that segment up with, if you're watching Beautiful Assistant, turn this shit off real quick. I'll fill you in on what happens for the rest of the show. Colin, you got anything Valentine's related that you really, really like or appreciate?
Well, it's funny because I like Valentine's Day. Like, very well said, GW. I think it's a nice day that you kind of express the way you feel for someone all year. If you're in a relationship, if you're single, it might be a day that, you get a chance to, have a very romantic night with someone new. But a couple years ago, I was in Rome by myself on Valentine's Day. And so I was, kind of, in one of the burial grounds of San Valentino in Italy, and I met this girl, and
all right.
She, things are going well. She like,
what's going?
She says, I want to bring you to this place. She goes, it's all the most beautiful people in Rome. Go to this place. I said, well, that's where I want to go. Of course, naturally, go show me these beautiful human specimens. So we go to this place. It's very nice. Everything, blah 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 blah. So then she says to me, we need to go to the Trevi Fountain, which is one of the top 5 most romantic places in the world, right? So we go there. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I get into her little Italian car. We're driving on this cobblestone, all this stuff. We get to the fountain, and we're sitting there. There's no one else there, right? Because it's like, at this point, it's 3:30. Usually, at any other point in Rome, there'd be millions of people there. But like at this point, in the middle of the night, it's just us. No guards, nobody. And we go to the fountain. There's this incredibly beautiful place, and we're sitting there. And I look at her, and she looks at me. And I kind of lean into, kiss her. And she looks at me and goes, "Oh, no, I'm not going to kiss you." I'm like, this is the difference between American women and Italian women, right? It's just like any Italian woman would have just kissed you because it's like, it's Valentine's Day. You're at the, third most romantic place in the world. It's just like, it would be rude to not kiss in that moment. And she turns around and walks away, and I'm like, giving her like my best, like, Italian woman. Come on, just the one kiss. Uno manco.
Quick comment from group. Jacob said, thanks for the laughs. Have a great night. Jacob, thank you for commenting. We appreciate you. And Nick writes in, so basically Valentine's Day is the second anniversary.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think that one is to you, G-Dubs.
Yep.
That's fair. Mike, you really you have any Valentine's Day things you really like?
I don't have any stories. I just think it's a weird because guys, just between us, anal's the end game, right? That's why we have chocolates. It's subliminal.
I agree. That's why I like the coconut filled ones, is because it replicates the end.
I still wanted to get the assholes shaped chocolate.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm afraid
I haven't.
Hold of my asshole, but if I did, shit.
I've heard they're like fingerprints too. Like everyone's a little bit different, and that you could be identified.
How do you make the mold? Do you have to hold your legs up and stay leaned back for a period of time while they like pour some wax in there or something?
I don't know. I would assume they have some type of specialty pants that you put on, and then you just kind of sit in the mold. But that's just a.
I think it's funnier if you have to hold your legs up.
No, I agree. I agree. The visual's better.
It's something you do yourself, so it has to be easy.
And you're like, oh no, don't get any wax on my scrot mitten. That would be awful. That would ruin it, and then I'd have to find another teacher from Essex to knit me together a mitten, and she'd have to take my measurements, and it'd just be awkward. I don't want to put another lady through that. But that's pretty much the end. Anybody have anything they want to
I do.
Get off their... Okay.
I want to say happy birthday to my brother Tim.
Hey, happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday.
Yes, today is his birthday. I have no fucking idea how old he is.
Old enough to know how to party, that's what I heard.
Yeah, or old enough to go to bed at fucking 5 o'clock at night. Because he's older than me. So, if he was younger, I'd feel bad for not knowing how old he is, but I think he's shit. Maybe 7 years older than me? No, it can't be that much. 5 years older than me. Oh, he's an old fart. Shit.
Probably isn't bad.
Yeah. And I got something else. I also want to say to Nick, so Valentine's Day isn't just the second anniversary. It's more like the third or fourth, because we celebrate the anniversary that we got engaged, our actual anniversary where we got together, and then Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah, I am filled with fucking love.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. I hope the beautiful assistant wasn't listening to that, because I'm going to walk back out into the house and all of a sudden hear, did you hear what GW said? You piece of shit.
Well, how come I don't get 3 anniversaries?
My wife's going to turn into Greta Thunberg when I get out there. She's like, how dare you! You ruined my childhood!
Dates that you remember. That's the important part.
Okay.
It's Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Devil's Night.
Always remember those.
Collen, anything you got to get off your chest before we get on out of here, my friend?
No, great to see everybody. Mike, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And
anytime, my friend.
Oh yeah, I love it.
We'll see you soon.
Mike, anything you got to put out into the ethers before we we hop on out for tonight?
I got nothing. I just want to thank coronavirus for eradicating the flu because nobody's had it.
I was going to bring that up. Did you see the chart from England?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's so good. It charts the last 3 years of flu in England.
It's a massive drop-off.
No. It's like 2017, 2018, boom. 2019, 2020, boom. 2020, 2021, 0. Just the entire way. I was like, Boris Johnson's doing a great job over there.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He has single-handedly got rid of the flu. Good Lord. Why couldn't we have gotten that Trump? I don't understand. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got. Please follow GW at Foley Kills. Please follow Collen at Collen D and at Woolen Mill Comedy, where you can find all that information. Mike Gray is at Mike Gray Comedian. Please give him a follow. I, of course, am Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. You can find me at Hickory TDAU on all the usual spots, except Parlor until that comes back. Hopefully, maybe someday, because I miss it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Next week, we welcome a brand new guest. We're going to have Captain Granite on the show. He's a moto vlogger from New Hampshire. That should be really fun. See how he's doing. A little bit of diversity. And then I'm pretty sure the week after that, although I have to double check, is the Spore Machine, John Spore. So hit me on. And that'll be super fun. We got a lot of... Mike, we'll welcome you back. They'll be in season 2, though. We are booked out for the rest of...
Nice.
I meant to say that earlier, actually. We're in our 4th quarter, and the game's getting hot, and we have a bunch of... we have the rest of the 4th quarter lined up. So we got some new guests. We'll be releasing some other names as they come along, but yeah, the 4th quarter for the Drunken Under Quarantine show is seeming like it's going to be solid. I want to thank everybody for coming out, commenting, giving us shit, because we deserve it, and talking some shit about football, because... well, we won't be able to talk shit about football until next season. Assuming there is one. Who knows? Anyways, I'm Edgar the Drunken Underwhelming, reminding you all, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Thank you for being here, enjoying the show. And we'll see y'all kids next week. Peace. I wanted to leave it long enough for this. Yeah! I just wanted to leave it long enough for